Hey, good evening, everybody. I am Chuck Rogers, licensed professional counselor and licensed marriage and family therapist.
And I'm Keith Dunn, world traveler and network engineer.
Oh man, he's going places. And together we're Tabletop Coffee.
Yeah, where we are bold and never ever bitter.
And tonight we're talking about trust the person, not the text. Stay tuned and we'll talk about it. So you recently went on this world tour.
Yes,
You were
I
gone
did.
for what, 4 weeks?
I was gone for 31 days,
Dang. Why no?
but I was working on the road, and it worked out really well. But
We were able to sneak in a couple of virtual
Whew.
coffees as opposed to
yeah, we sure were.
not having our normal coffee time.
Yeah, that was really nice, and it worked out great on FaceTime.
Yeah. And my wife, a long time ago, she says, you guys text like middle school girls. And
Yeah.
I said, we do.
Yeah, we FaceTime like middle school girls too.
Except I'm here in my office freezing over a heater. Keith has got sun in his eyes while he's in Florida.
Yeah, I'm down there saying, "Oh my goodness, it's hot down here."
But we do. We text a lot back and forth. And one of the texts that I was
funny.
sitting home and I was on a weekend. I didn't have a intensive on a Saturday like I
Right.
normally do. And so I was being busy and productive, and
Sure.
I was able to get my inbox totally cleaned out. And it was so great because there was just nothing in there and I felt so good. And so I texted Keith and says, my text box is empty.
Yeah, he did. My inbox is empty. And my inbox is never empty. So it didn't register with me at all. I misread that text completely and sent a text back to Chuck saying, "Oh man, I'll take a look at this for you in a little bit and see if I can get that fixed for you."
Yeah. So here I am bragging and excited about my inbox being empty. I'm so caught up. And Keith is going, oh no, this is terrible. I'll have
Yeah.
to take care of this problem for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So it just really hit us in the moment about how troublesome text can be.
Right.
And then you had this other electronic snafu,
Yeah, I
not with
did.
text, but voicemail to text.
Yeah, and that just happened last week as well. I was communicating with this guy and hadn't heard from him for a while. He sends me a voicemail,
Yeah.
which I'm reading as a text message that comes across because it converts the voice to text. And it starts off and it says, "I had a small heart attack." And then it goes on and it explains what the rest of the message was, saying, "I'm sorry I didn't get back with you about this," and so on. And I'm like, well, my goodness, if you had a heart attack, I completely understand why you didn't get back with me. So I immediately get on and I text this guy and I'm like, "I am so sorry you had a heart attack. Don't worry about the other stuff. I'm only worried about how you're doing."
Yeah.
And so I went in that direction.
Right.
Completely misread it. And if I had listened to the voicemail, which I did go back and listen to later, I would have gotten the context about it. This person had a heart attack. They were just making that statement saying, "Oh my goodness, I had a heart attack because I didn't follow up with this with you."
It was an expression.
It was just an expression. But boy, I tell you what, I misread that one completely and shot back.
Yeah, I mean, and so those are two things that have happened with you and me within a few days
Yeah.
of one another.
Absolutely.
And so it really got us to thinking about this whole piece. And we've never done a video on this subject. We've
No.
done videos in the past, part 1, 2, maybe even 3, about how it is don't talk about your feelings.
That's right.
And sometimes texting really, really can be very, very helpful, or emails for people to express their thoughts and express their
Sure
feelings
can.
well. And we go into reasons as to why.
Right.
The other side of the coin,
If you can misread it.
you can really misread it and you can end up with a whole lot of trouble.
So one thing I will throw out here that Chuck is so good at, and where people get in trouble, I think, is their assumptive thinking and assuming things on the message that was sent, maybe reading it completely out of context. One thing that Chuck will do when I'm sending him a message, if he doesn't follow exactly what I'm saying or asking, he asks questions. Because we have such a good relationship with each other that we would always give the other person the benefit of the doubt
Yeah.
and not assume something negative. We, at least
Yeah.
I see that for both of
Oh,
us. I
absolutely.
would never do that with Chuck because I know his heart, and I know he would never send anything to me that would be hurtful. So that's easy for the two of us.
Yeah, it really is. And I will oftentimes say, I'm sorry, I'm just not following you here. Or can you clarify this?
Right.
Or
Exactly.
if I was really unclear and I was really in danger of being hurt, I would just call you and say, dude, what did you mean by this?
Right.
But I tell you, I've seen it so many times in my office, and you've seen
bet.
it.
Yeah, I have.
Where people will receive a text and they will just assume the worst
Yeah, they do.
about the other person. They'll
Right.
assume the worst about the message, and relationships can be really, really wounded or maybe even destroyed by this. So I was thinking about this, and we've talked about it earlier today about maybe doing this video. And at first I was kind of worried about it because it seemed like such a lackluster video. And is this something that we really do need to do? However, it's a huge problem.
huge.
And I think that if people would take what we're talking about extremely seriously and
Right.
trust the person, not the text, give them the benefit
That's
of
right.
doubt,
Exactly.
and then follow up with them
Right.
with more text, or preferably a phone call or an in-person conversation,
Right.
so that the relationship is not wounded or destroyed.
Yeah, at least ask questions if you're unsure of something. But I agree, picking up the phone and having that voice conversation with someone is a great way to clarify as well. Plus, you can also hear their voice on the other side, so that can be very helpful.
Yeah, if you have any examples of how this has happened
Oh,
for you in a
yeah.
good way or a not so good way,
Right.
we'd really appreciate hearing those stories so that maybe we could talk about them as well.
Yeah, just put them in the comments down below. We would love to hear those, and we'll reply back to you.
Yeah, I hope you liked our content. If you did, would you please subscribe? Because Keith would really appreciate that.
Yep, and ding that bell so you're notified of upcoming
Make
episodes.
sure to like it.
Yep, share it with your friends.
Thanks, everyone.
Until next time.
Hey, is this shirt teal?
This, I know what teal is. It's right there.
Yeah, Kelsey pointed that out. She
Yeah.
says in our last video, she made a comment. If you guys are ever wondering what teal is, because we were arguing about whether Keith's hat or shirt was teal,
Yeah.
Kelsey said, just look at the wall
Yeah,
behind
just
you.
turn around. That was very funny.